Hi there. Welcome back to Movement. All right. Hi, I'm Natalie Rand here with you again today at SCU's live yoga and Pilates and Ayurvedic tips. So I wanted to make sure today we had time to discuss what we do when we need something nourishing and quick snack wise. All right. So it depends obviously on each person's body. But I find that, especially when we get really busy with studies, which is what I just experienced, I personally just finished my last final of this term. And I find that if I don't prepare my energy boosts, which I like to call for snacks, I will get very reckless in terms of choice, right? So the best order of business is to prepare. Yeah. So one of the things I absolutely love to do is in the evening, sometimes before I go to bed, I'll make these cool little I have these little containers, these silver containers that I just literally ration my snacks in. And snacks for me, I have to steer clear of dried snacks. And depending on your body's constitution, meaning like the way your body is naturally built, you would gravitate and benefit most from snacks. So generally speaking, for my body, because I tend to be more quick and airy and space filled as well as fiery and cold, how can you be both together? Well, you must visit us at the SCU clinic to find out. But therefore, I try my best to have nourishing snacks like dates, raisins, blueberries, apples, seasonal fruit, things that can give me a burst of actual water and hydration, as well as nutrients in terms of vitamins that I can grab quickly. All right. One of the other things that I like to do is put like almond butter or sunflower butter inside the dates because it just kind of is satisfying without you sort of grabbing and reaching, which I would grab. The snacks I would gravitate toward would be like popcorn and chips and things that crunch. Why is it that crunch is so satisfying, right? It's almost like sometimes you're not even eating because you necessarily want to, but it's the act of closing your jaw and feeling that sound create and it's almost like a dance between you and the snack, right? So a wonderful way to mitigate that is by having things that are, they have crunch, but they also have juice. So they have, again, it depends on your body, right? So if I were someone who was on the heavier side and I wasn't as motivated or quick, or I was very consistent and stable, but yet I was on the heavier side, then I might be able to have dried like a popcorn or something that isn't on the oily side, right? Because then one, I would have that satisfaction, but in a rational sense, right? And two, it would actually be the opposite quality of what it is that my body's naturally. So yeah, I just wanted to touch base on that because I found myself in those situations due to time constraints. And I was like, what can I have without making a big production or a big meal? I digress. But today, aside from that, I wanted to grace our space and time with Pilates because we haven't been doing Pilates every single time, or we've had a couple sprinkles in there. So I'd like to do something a little bit more intermediate today. So if you haven't done Pilates before, I will give you some alternate moves. If you are in a full term of your pregnancy, this is not a workout for you today. I can give you some alternates, or there are other videos that you can check out that we've done earlier. Okay. Aside from that, if you have any major issues in terms of lying flat, like vertigo, or generally speaking, major surgeries, having to do specifically with your abdominals, then again, this won't be for you because we're going to focus on the core, the front, back, lower systems, as well as our posterior body today. All right. And try and get things moving as well, because remember, we are in the spring. Yes. So let's set up here and let's get started. I have my mat right behind us and I'm going to put this here and we will move. It's a little chilly in here today. All right. So today we're going to start. We've been starting with something nice and simple to help us get prepped and stretched. Right. So we'll do that again today. So if you are injured or pregnant or anything of that nature, you have the opportunity to take it kind of slow. All right. All right, so starting here, we'll take a nice deep breath, reach the arms all the way up to the ceiling. And exhale, let the arms come all the way down to the side of the waist as you dump the air out of the mouth. Again, breathe, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, dump the air, reach the arms down to the side of the waist. One more time, breathe and reach all the way up to the sky. Exhale, dump the air out, arms down to the side of the waist. Good, and then from here, let's reach the arms up, and then the arms are gonna walk all the way forward as you drop the head down, walk the fingertips forward, breathe into the lower spine, inhale. Exhale. Again, deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good, walk the hands forward. And if you do have a baby in your body, you can just spread the legs and walk. Same thing here. All right. Sitting on a chair is always an option. Bring it back up, and then we'll bring the opposite leg in the front. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, let the body fold forward, drop the head. And stack it on. One more time, breathe and reach. Exhale, fold forward. And stay here for a bit, breathe. 2 breaths. Deep breath into the nose. Out through the mouth. Good. Walk the hands all the way back up. Great. All right. So from here, we're going to go straight into it. So we have done the 5 series before or some variation on it. We have done a warm up to this, but today we're going to go straight through. So we'll go from the very top, which is standing for those who have able hips, knees, and joints, all the way down to the mat. All right. And I'll call out the changes as I go. So standing at the top, let's bring one foot behind us. Bring the hands into a genie position and lower down to the floor. Pull the navel in and slowly round your spine. And inhale, reach the arms above. Exhale, come down to the side of the waist. Press the palms into the floor. Squeeze your seat and then float the legs. Curl the head and shoulders up. Pump the arms for the hundreds. Breathe into the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. If this is too hard for you, bend your knees or bring the legs up to the sky. But if you feel fine, lower the legs. 3 more. Inhale. 2 more. Inhale. You can also lower the head down. 1 more time. In. Out. And lower the heels. Arms reach all the way up to the ceiling. Flex the heels. Hold the body all the way upright. Reach forward for 3. And 2. And 1. Lower the body all the way down, squeezing the inner thighs together. Really trying to push the heels forward as you descend. And exhale, roll it up. We'll do 5 of these. Reach, 2, 3, and roll all the way down as you squeeze those legs together. 3 more. Exhale, bring it forward and reach. 2, 3, and roll the body down. Last 2. Exhale, bring it forward. 1, 2, 3, and roll down. Notice that I'm not completely stretching to touch my feet. It's more about keeping the inner thighs engaged, pulling the navel in and roll down. 1 more time. Exhale, forward and reach. 2, 3, and round down. All right. Now, normally I'm going to skip rollover because a lot of people are not familiar with it, and I'm going to teach it separately on a different day. All right. I'm getting nice and warm. So we're going to go straight into the leg circles. All right. We won't even do any preparation for it. The right leg's going to reach up to the ceiling. You're going to circle that leg around and lift it up. Opposite leg is pressed down into the floor, making sure the pelvis isn't moving. 2 more, down, around, and lift. 1 more, down, around, and lift. Reverse for 5. Lift it up, circle, 2. Lift, and 3. 4, and 5. Switch legs in the air, all right? Same thing, opposite leg, circle down, around, and lift. And if it's too much for you and you're feeling it in the back, you can bend this knee. 3, exhale, lift. 2, exhale, lift. 1, reverse. 4, 5, and lift. 4, and lift. 3, and lift. 2, and 1. Good. Lower that leg all the way down to the floor. Arms reach up to the sky. Notice I'm not hyperextending my ribs. Pull the ribs down into the floor as you squeeze the inner heels together in that small Pilates V position. Exhale, roll the body all the way forward from here, and then bend the knees to come up. All right, so a couple things. When your legs are in front of you, they're not here for Pilates V. They're in a small turned out position, right? Not over turned out. We're not doing ballet. So you want to bring the legs up to almost like a little letter V, okay? And then while you're here, when you reach back, keep the heels together. It's almost like you don't want them. Naturally, gravity and your body's natural way to roll down is going to keep pulling your heels. But see how I'm kind of leaving you as I roll down? Your goal is to let those heels continue to reach that direction as you descend. Reach them. Reach them like the hands don't want to leave the feet. Keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching. And as you do, your glutes are engaged, your belly's engaged, and then you lower down. And then you come right back up, right? And while you're here, there's a big ball in front of you as you reach the arms, pulling the navel in and up underneath you, squeezing your glutes together and reaching the arms, and then rolling the spine all the way back down, okay? So that's the objective there. So you're not just sort of flopping forward and back. There is some technique to it, right? So bring your legs forward, or bring your pelvis forward, pull down with both legs, and we've done this in yoga. We're going to repeat it in Pilates. Balancing on the pelvis, right, the 2 ischium bones here. Pull those heels down towards your feet. You can flex or point the toes. And you're going to keep your body in a round position as you press your palms down, rock the body down. Stay in that tight ball to come up, right? Try to keep your tailbone curled forward as you squeeze your heels together in that same position. Inhale, exhale, come up. Let's do twice more, just for formality. And what's going to happen is your pelvic bowl may start rocking you around. You end up on all different directions of your mat. Try your best to stay in the same position, but it's an indicator to let you know that your body is not symmetrical, right? Which most of us, it is not. Staying here, pull that right knee and stretch the left leg out. You're going to slowly lower the body down. We're going to do this series of 5, all right? Remember, you can always lower your head if it's too hard on your neck. Otherwise, build up the strength. Pull the ribs in and down, pull the navel in, and exhale. Switch, and switch, and 2, and switch. Notice my hands, 3. They're helping me keep my knee in front of the chest, inside of my body. Spots. 5 more, 4 more. Breathing the whole time. 3, and 2, and 1. And while my head is here, there's like an apple underneath here. So I'm not pinching down. There's a little bit of space. All right, both knees come to the chest. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull the knees back in. Both legs reach out together, squeeze and reach. It's almost like 2 people are pulling my legs and arms away from the center. Exhale, catch. If this is too much for you, drop your head. If it's too much for your legs, you can keep the head up. Inhale, reach the arms. The legs will stay. And 2. And if it's you still want to do the range of motion, you just want a little modification. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hug. So this is a modification for that same exercise. You can get the same thing done. I'm going to do 3 more of the original one, which is inhale, reach, and catch. And 2, and catch. 1 more time. Breathe and reach. Rest the head. All right. From here, single straight leg stretch. All right. Notice we're moving faster today. So you can always pause this and finish it later. Otherwise, hang in there with me, all right? Head and shoulders come up, reach the right leg. You're going to pull, pull, switch. Pull, pull, switch. Those of you who this is like really challenging for because the back of the hamstrings are really tight, you can bend the knees, grab lower, bend the knees, and even keep the legs going, right? Here we go. 5, pull, pull. 4, pull, pull. Pull, pull. 3 more. 2 more. And 1 more. All right, from here, both hands are going to go behind the head. So today, normally what will happen in the double straight leg stretch is the legs will go all the way up to the sky, and you will lower the legs as far as you can as you squeeze your heels together. Exhale them back up to 90 degrees. Most people don't do that variation because sometimes they have different reasons, right? But today, you have that as an option. You can also curl the head and shoulders up, keep the head here, which is where you would ultimately be. You can lift the pelvis up and down, small little pelvic tilt. So the lower abdominal muscles are really getting acknowledged, pulling the navel and pelvic floor muscles high, right? So squeezing your lower systems and lifting. Now you can see why this is not for a pregnant person. And 3 more, squeeze. 2 more. And if you're with me and you can do the one where you lower the legs, let's do it together. 3 reps. Inhale. Lower down. 2, 3. Exhale. Bring it up. 2, 2, 3. Bring it in 1 count. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Bring it up. Good. How was that? Let's move forward. All right. For the crisscross. Then the right knee into the chest. A lot of people call this bicycle. In Pilates, we call it crisscross. The difference being, in Pilates, we generally, when you go to this side twist position, everything in front of you is symmetrical, and the only thing that's changing is the upper torso, right? So this pelvis, the pelvis on my full pelvis is not rocking to twist me, okay? So from this position, we have all kinds of positions where the pelvis is nice and symmetrical, but the upper body is twisting off of that axis, right? So even when we do our spine twist, that's what it looks like. So we're doing the same thing here, pulling that right knee into the body while we're down here, and we're going to find the shape. The back body is coming off of the mat, and then we're switching. We're trying to bring it up, and then we're switching, and we're trying to come up, and we're switching, and we're trying to come up. And notice I'm not crossing my hands behind the head. I'm just really trying to use the hands as a nice pillow. Up. And if it's too hard for you, we'll do the last 5 with bent knees and toe taps, right? So toe taps, alternating, tapping the toe, tapping the toe. Let's do 4 more of these. 3 more, whichever you chose. 2 more. And 1. All right? Rest from here. Arms reach back like we did in the beginning. Roll the body all the way forward. And then separate the legs for the spine stretch forward. All right? So if you're in this position and you're challenged in your pelvis or your back, don't be. Get something and put it underneath your pelvis, right? You can get a little pillow. You can get a small block. You can skip it, or you can cross the legs. Generally speaking, if you have a hard time sitting upright, the exercise can slowly graduate. The goal of this exercise is not to stretch out the hamstrings. The goal is to stretch the spine, lengthen the back, then from here, pulling the navel in, dump the air out of the mouth. Feeling the pelvic bowl nice and balanced, perpendicular to the floor. Squeeze your glutes and slowly stack your vertebra. Stack your vertebra. Stack your vertebra. And again, inhale. Exhale, dump it out. My hands are sliding across an imaginary table. And then I'm in front of a wall that I'm slowly going to stack, activating my legs so my legs are strong. My glutes are stronger. My navel's pulled in and up. I'm growing taller and taller and taller through my spine. It's almost like someone's going to pick me up from the crown of my head, and the rest of my body's going to float, all right? Twice more, dump the air. Sitting into both hips evenly. Breathe in and stack it up. And stack it up. And stack it up. Last one, exhale. Breathe in and sit up tall. Reaching the arms forward. And tall. Great. All right, so from here, relax the arms. So this next exercise can be very fun, can be challenging, as well as we've done a variation in some previous videos, right? It's called open leg rocker, all right? So you may have seen this shape before in a yoga class where both of the legs, you would grab them by the calves, all right? And then you would just balance here, all right? I think you would grab your toes in yoga, all right? But here in Pilates, you grab the ankles, so you have a little bit more to work with. And then you're going to curl the spine, and you'll notice right away the body wants to completely collapse. But you have to use your pelvic floor muscles, squeeze your butt, press those legs, and then press to return. All right? Curl the spine. If this is too difficult and it's not for you, you can just balance here like we did earlier and roll like a ball and reach one leg out, and then the other knee. and then reach, and then bend. And even if that's ridiculous to you and you're laughing right now, then skip this exercise, all right? And rock it back and forth. But for those adventurous people that are completely healthy, roll in open leg rocker position, right? And you'll notice that I am cheating a little bit because I'm trying to balance by hyperextending my back. I want to keep my back in a rounded position and curl and return and curl and return. It's a great massage on the back when it works out, all right? Close the legs, same thing, flexing the feet, eventually catching the toes, which is completely out of this world, right? But it's a fun, really great way to laugh, okay? And curl through the back. And I'm facing this way so you're able to see me, but I'm gonna go back onto the mat because I'm half on the mat, half on the floor, all right? So the open leg rocker position was last, right? This is closed leg rocker. Pulling the navel in, rounding the spine. You're either skipping this exercise or you're going with it and you're giggling and laughing with me. All right, let's do one more. Try and balance. Squeeze your inner thighs, squeeze your seat. Come on up. Yes. And then slowly lower the back down, right? The legs stay up to the sky, and we're gonna do a mini corkscrew exercise. So corkscrew is just similar to the single leg circle that we did earlier, but both legs are circling. So your legs go down, around, and lift. And you're just drawing a circle on the ceiling while keeping the inner thighs together and pressing into the palms on the floor so your triceps activate and your upper chest is open because your trapezius muscles and rhomboids are activated on the mat, all right? And then from there, that one also advances, and we'll do it some other time. Arms reach up. Exhale, roll the body all the way forward. And then we'll separate the legs, and we're gonna do it with the saw. So you've seen this exercise before on these videos because in the past we've done the universal spinal twist. It's very similar to a yoga exercise called the universal spinal twist, but this is the Pilates version. You'll twist the upper chest. The palms will reach as if you're gonna have a saw with the pinky, sawing your right pinky toe as you reach on forward and stack the vertebra. And this is one of those exercises that you can do seated. Twist, the pelvis doesn't change. And reach, feeling the right hip move back as the right arm saws the left pinky toe. And breathe in. And exhale. Inhale, lift. And exhale, twist. One more time each side. And exhale, twist. Last one, inhale. And exhale, twist. And breathe. Close the legs. And we'll flip over onto the belly, all right? How are you doing? You can do this, if it's for you. If you feel like this is too complex, or I need to go back, the video is here for you to come back and see. And I would love for you to comment so I know, like, is this difficult for you? Are you doing okay? Is this too much? All right, so we're gonna do like 3 posterior exercises before we close. So all of that was the beginning of what I would call intermediate to advanced, okay? There's things that can go further because Joe Pilates was known to be very rambunctious and certainly very proud, right? So today, though, we want to be respectful. And for me, I'm all about honoring where you are in your body today. So even if today is not the day for you to try it, perhaps if you are injured and you're cleared after some period with your primary care physician, then you can try it on another day, all right? So let's flip over onto the belly. Right, I'll give you a couple modifications for this. We're going to do press up neck roll. If this is too hard for you, you can stand up. This is something too. If you are finding your back and you're pregnant but not too pregnant, you can stand up and do this exercise on the wall with both of your palms on the wall. You would push down. I'll show you on the belly, but you can do the same exercise where you push the wall and you lift up in the chest. It's like a cobra in yoga. And then Pilates, we call it press up neck roll. Okay. So from here. Take a deep inhale, and then you're going to look to your right, drop the head down to the sternum, look over to the left, come back to center. Feel the shoulder blades come down, look to the left, drop down toward the sternum, come to the right, back to the center. Notice how much upper body strength I have to use here. If you're here, this is equally effective, right? Pulling that navel in, pushing the feet down, making sure you're not overarching the lower back. The tailbone is long. The feet are pressed. The upper chest is up, all right? So you can even try a few of those to feel where the back is, using your arms and your lower back, and legs are powerful. All right, from here, push all the way back into a child's pose, knees are wide, releasing the back and releasing the head. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Breathe in and out. All right, going right back onto our belly. All right, and then we're gonna do swan dive. If you have any issues with the back, you're gonna skip this. Otherwise, we're gonna do the first variation, which is just pressing up. And then we'll rock and return. Rock and return. One more rock and have a seat. All right, so you can see why that one would not work for many, okay? But if you have a healthy back and you wanna try it out, be my guest. All right, moving right along, we're gonna go into single leg kicks. Both of the fists are gonna go onto the floor nice and strong. Press down into the fist, pulling the navel in, making sure you're not sinking in the shoulders or the lower back. The feet are pressed, the shoulders are down. The abs are off the ground, all right? There's no ab belly on the mat, right? That belly is activated. Fist push down, feeling the inner thighs come close together. Flex through the heel, kick, kick twice, and switch. Kick, kick, and switch. And it seems simple, but when you're doing it correctly, it can be really powerful. So you're pushing so much into the floor that you actually feel the deltoids, which are the shoulders, activate, all right? So the lateral muscles underneath the armpits and the broad line are activated, all right? And kick, kick, and switch. Kick, kick, switch. Shoulders are down, abs are in, navel's up. All right, let's do 3 more sets. Kick, kick, and 2 more sets. Kick, kick, and 1 more time. Kick. Keep one heel in. Squeeze that heel in as you pull the navel and push the fist down into the floor. Keep the inner thighs squeezed together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Switch. Same thing, opposite leg. Push into the fist, pulling the navel in. Squeeze the heel in. Squeeze it in. And child's pose. Sit back. Breathe into the lower spine. All right, releasing the head. All right, if you feel aggravated at all in your lower back and you need to stop, you should. Otherwise, you can go, give yourself a nice little break by going into all fours, look toward the right at the heel, come back to the center, look to the other heel, just giving yourself a little lateral stretch, back to the center, all right, and then we'll go back down onto the belly, all right? This next exercise will be the last one until we go into some really simple cooling down, right? So go back onto your belly. Both of the palms are going to come high into the upper back, and you're just going to look over to the right or the left side of the room. And here, a lung can be a big stretch depending on the person's body. And then you'll take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, let the elbows drop down toward the floor. Again, breathe in and exhale. All right, so you get a nice little stretch there in the neck and shoulders. Switch the palm on top. Switch the ear on the mat and do the same thing. Breathe in. Exhale. One more deep inhale through the nose. Out through the mouth. All right, I'm going to turn back toward you. And then we're going to kick the heels into the seat for 3, 2, 1. And then grab one of your wrists. Extend the legs and lift your upper chest off the ground. Now, the goal is not to push down into the lower back. You want to lengthen through the shoulders and look up nice and long. Your gaze is going to be out, and then you'll switch ears and you'll kick again. Kick, 2, 3, and reach. 2, 3, and kick. 2, 3, and reach. Good. You can take this slower if you need to. 2, 3, and reach. And I'll slow it down as I switch palms. I'm going to slow it down for you. And kick, 2, 3, stretch. And the stretch time can max to whatever your body's max is. And kick, 2, 3, and reach. 2, 3, again, kick, 2, 3, and reach. 2, 3, one more time, kick. Pointing through both toes. All 10 toes are reaching. From here, lift your legs off the floor. All right, this might be enough, and you might be like, I'm gonna go into child's pose, and that's fine. Otherwise, you're gonna beat your heels together and breathe. Gaze to the mat, and then you'll reach the arms out to the side of the body. Bring them above your head if it's available to you, and then breathe them all the way back. So we're gonna beat the heels together. Inhale, reach the arms above you. Exhale, bring them all the way down to the waist. 3 more. Inhale, reach them up. Exhale, reach them all the way down to the waist. 1 more time. Actually, 2 more. One more slide and down. Last time, breathe in, reach the arms. Exhale, bring them down to the waist and child's pose. All right, sitting all the way back onto the heels, release the head and rest. Good. All right. You'll notice if one side of your back is stronger than the other. All right. I would normally go from that to a next series, but today I think we're gonna start to wrap it up just due to timing. All right. So you did that whole posterior series, which is single leg kicks, double leg kicks. We did swan, press up, neck roll. All of those exercises are pretty much, I would say, intermediate to advanced, but everything can be very basic if you break it down and you check in with the right person, all right? For today, if you're fairly healthy and you have a regular practice, totally approachable, all right? But we will begin to cool it all down. So today we'll do some basic stretches. The first one will be a piriform stretch, right? So if sitting down in a chair is also an option, otherwise you're gonna put your left ankle on top of the right knee, right? Just almost as if you were sitting on the beach. And instead of sinking into the shoulders, right, you can either go back onto your lower back and catch threading the needle, which is very popular. If you want to be able to do a little more, you can bring your hands behind you. Flex through the foot so the knee is active, the muscles around the knee. And then lift up through the front of the chest and take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out. All right, you can also go onto the forearms. It's a nice place to start. And then switch it up. Same thing, opposite leg. And take a nice deep breath. Climb up if it's available to you and you are not injured and you check with your primary care physician. Exhale. Breathe in. And out. One more deep breath. And exhale, all right? And we're gonna do double pigeon, which comes from the yoga roll, or you can do like just having the legs crossed like we did in the very opening. If you feel like you're a little bit more flexible, you can bring your ankle on top of the knee. Sometimes you'll get this. This lets you know that you're not, right? If this is available to you, you'll go here, and then you'll breathe and lift up the arms. And exhale, let your body go forward. All right, and this is a great place to stop. You don't need to go any further than this. If it feels too intense, you can take the leg down and cross, right? If you feel fine, then you'll just walk the hands forward, release the head and breathe. And you'll notice any imbalances in the legs. Often will come just because we're a car culture, we drive a lot, you know? So that's the reason why self-care is so incredibly important. And something as simple as walking is incredibly useful. All right, take a nice deep inhale. Exhale. Good, and then you're gonna reach forward. Remember, the alternate is not to go forward, right? And the alternate is also just to have the legs crisscross applesauce, or even seated in a chair. 2 deep breaths here, inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. And exhale. Walk all the way back, all right? And just to recap here, so we started off earlier, we talked about some really functional ways of preparing for snacks. The best snack to have is one that you prepare to consume. And a great gauge is if there are just 1 to 2 ingredients, you're winning. The more the ingredients list increases, the more your body has to process and the likelihood that it's going to just stay and become some form of toxins in your system, right? We got to start small though, right? Do things that are sustainable and just be okay with where you are today, right? I'm so happy that you were able to come in and join me again. Remember, you don't have to do it alone. All you have to do is show up, and then we can do it here together. So wonderful to see you again. Looking forward to next week here, 12:30 Thursday, live on YouTube with Natalie Rand, Ayurvedic counselor, practitioner to be. Looking forward to it. All right. Until then, ciao.